Welcome to today's video on British history. Today, we're counting down the 8 best UK Prime Ministers in history, based on their leadership, policies, and impact on the country. From Winston Churchill to Margaret Thatcher, we'll be exploring the most iconic and influential leaders to ever hold office. So, let's get started. 8. Tony Blair's premiership, 1997 to 2007, was marked by several significant achievements and controversies. During Blair's tenure, the UK experienced a period of unprecedented economic growth, with the country becoming one of the fastest-growing major economies in the world. Unemployment fell significantly, and the economy became more competitive. Blair played a key role in negotiating the Good Friday Agreement, which brought an end to decades of violence in Northern Ireland and paved the way for power sharing between Unionists and Nationalists. Blair's government prioritized human rights, establishing the office of the Prime Minister's Special Envoy for Global Partnerships and working to promote human rights globally. Blair played a significant role in international affairs, working closely with world leaders to address global challenges like terrorism, poverty, and disease. However, Blair's decision to invade Iraq in 2003 remains highly divisive. Many critics argue that the war was based on flawed intelligence and that it destabilized the Middle East, which has tarnished his image forever. 7. Robert Peel was a British Prime Minister who served from 1834 to 1835 and again from 1841 to 1846. He is considered one of the most important and influential prime ministers in British history. Peel repealed the Corn Laws, which had protected British agriculture by restricting imports of grain. This move helped to reduce food prices, promote free trade, and stimulate economic growth. Peel founded the Metropolitan Police Service in 1829, which revolutionized law enforcement in Britain and set a model for modern policing. During Peel's premierships, the British economy experienced a period of rapid growth, driven by industrialization and trade liberalization. Peel was a key figure in the formation of the modern Conservative Party, which emerged as a distinct political entity during his time in office. 6. William Ewart Gladstone was a British Prime Minister who served 4 non-consecutive terms from 1868 to 1874, 1880 to 1885, 1886, and 1892 to 1894. He is seen as one of the most important and influential prime ministers in British history. Gladstone's governments introduced a range of reforms aimed at improving the lives of the working class and addressing social inequality. These included the abolition of slavery, the introduction of old age pensions, and the creation of the Board of Trade. Gladstone was a strong advocate for education and increased funding for schools. He introduced the Elementary Education Act, 1870, which made education compulsory for children between the ages of 5 and 13. Gladstone was a skilled diplomat who played a key role in maintaining peace in Europe during a period of significant international tension. He was a strong advocate for British neutrality during the Franco-Prussian War, 1870 to 1871, and worked to maintain good relations with other European powers. 5. David Lloyd George was a British Prime Minister who served from 1916 to 1922 and is considered one of the most significant leaders of the 20th century. Lloyd George played a crucial role in leading Britain through World War I, which saw the country emerge victorious but exhausted and financially drained. He was a skilled communicator and strategist who worked closely with his military leaders to coordinate efforts. Lloyd George's government implemented a range of reforms during the war, including the creation of the Ministry of Munitions, 1915, and the introduction of conscription, 1916. He also established the Department of Food Supplies, 1916, to manage food production and distribution. Lloyd George's government introduced significant electoral reforms, including the Representation of the People Act, 1918, which extended voting rights to more women and reduced the power of landowners. Lloyd George's government implemented social reforms, such as the introduction of old age pensions, 1908, workers' compensation schemes, and labor exchanges. 4. Margaret Thatcher was a British Prime Minister who served from 1979 to 1990. Thatcher's government implemented a range of economic reforms aimed at reducing inflation, stimulating economic growth, and increasing productivity. These included the privatization of state-owned industries like British Telecom and British Gas, the deregulation of industries including financial and energy, the reduction of trade unions' power, and also the reduction of public spending and taxes. Thatcher's leadership during the Falklands War 1982 was widely praised for her strong and decisive decision-making, which helped to maintain British sovereignty over the islands. Thatcher's government implemented social and cultural changes that reflected her conservative values. Thatcher was known for her strong personality, conviction politics, and ability to inspire loyalty among her supporters. 3. Clement Attlee was a British Prime Minister who served from 1945 to 1951. Attlee's government played a crucial role in rebuilding Britain after World War II. He implemented the Beveridge Report's recommendations for a comprehensive welfare state, nationalizing key industries such as coal, steel, and railroads. His government created the National Health Service. Also, he improved social services, education, and housing. Attlee influenced greatly on Great Britain's foreign influence through strengthening the relationship with the United States and the formation of the UN. 2. Winston Churchill was a British Prime Minister who served from 1940 to 1945 and again from 1951 to 1955. He is widely regarded as the greatest wartime leader in history. Churchill's leadership during World War II was instrumental in rallying the British people and guiding the country through its darkest hour. He inspired hope and resilience with his famous speeches, including his We Shall Fight on the Beaches and their finest hour addresses. He made key decisions, such as ordering the evacuation of Dunkirk and the bombing of Germany, and also fostered strong relationships with other world leaders, including Franklin D. Roosevelt and Joseph Stalin. Churchill's exceptional oratory skills helped to rally public support and boost morale during times of crisis. His speeches, such as the Iron Curtain speech, 1946, are still studied today for their eloquence and persuasive power. Churchill's strategic thinking played a crucial role in shaping British military strategy during World War II. An example being his support of radar technology. 1. Benjamin Disraeli was a British Prime Minister who served from 1868 to 1868 and again from 1874 to 1880. Disraeli's governments implemented several significant reforms. The Reform Act of 1867, which expanded the franchise and gave more voting rights to working-class men. The Ballot Act of 1872, which introduced secret ballots in elections. The Public Health Act of 1875, which improved sanitation and public health. Disraeli's foreign policy was marked by several significant achievements. The purchase of the Suez Canal, 1875, which gave Britain control over a vital trade route. The introduction of the Eastern Question policy, which aimed to stabilize the Ottoman Empire and prevent Russian expansion in the Balkans. The signing of the Treaty of Berlin, 1878, which redrew the map of Europe after the Russo-Turkish War. Disraeli was known for his charismatic leadership style, which earned him the nickname Dizzy among his contemporaries. And there you have it, our top 8 best UK Prime Ministers. From Winston Churchill to Margaret Thatcher, each of these leaders left an indelible mark on British history. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on British history.